YouTube, this is Necrostevo and you're watching one of my narrated Wi-Fi battles. Today is a match that I had against one of my Twitter followers, Connor. I've posted battles against him before, and I'm using a sand team in this battle, so you guys know me, I don't normally use weather too much, I normally just throw things together. But I think in this battle I actually picked Hippowdon, and then I picked other random things that might be used in sand. So we'll see how that goes. He starts off with his Deoxys. I was expecting him to taunt, but he can't really do anything to me anyway. Even if he psychics, this is a defensive Hippowdon, so it won't do too much damage, and I can slack off the damage and roar. So we both just set up our rocks, which is fine. He starts setting up spikes. I believe this is where I'm just going to roar him out because I knew you would probably set up those entry hazards, and I didn't really want to deal with it. Unfortunately, I rolled him out into Hydreigon, which means special attacks incoming, and this is a physically offensive Hippowdon. Not going to be too good there. Going to go out into Kadar, the specially defensive Blastoise. I don't know why more people don't use specially defensive Blastoise. His special defense is better than his physical defense. And yes, his weaknesses are often more special attacks, of course, grass and electric. But it just, he takes neutral hits really, really well. You see how little damage he took from that Ice Beam. Wow, from that Dark Pulse. Excuse me, I don't know why I said Ice Beam. And I'm just able to get up the Toxic on him, which is great. Running Blastoise in conjunction with Hippowdon may not be the best idea because they share that grass weakness, but that's where you can run other members on the team to pick up on that weakness a little bit. Of course, it does get rid of Blastoise's electric weakness, which is a little bit nicer. So I'm actually able to rapid spin and pop his balloon and blow away his rock, so that served multiple purposes. Interestingly enough, something that weighs as much as a Metagross just dropping to the ground should probably cause an earthquake because Metagross is very heavy. But I don't want to stay in here. I am specially defensive, so any type of physical attack from that amount of HP actually might finish me off. He goes for agility, which I thought was weird to set up with something like that this early in the battle when I have so many bulky things on my team. As you saw from the team preview, I have a Reuniclus. I still have my physically defensive Hippowdon. So unless he's running special attacks, he really can't do much. And this Hippowdon has no attack EVs, and it can very easily 2-hit KO Metagross, so that was very, very nice. And he's not really doing anything with Meteor Mash. Here I was really expecting him to switch back on into Hydreigon, and because, predicted Earthquake. So I roared. Unfortunately, he just goes for the Meteor Mash again, so I kind of over-predicted it right there, and I roar him out into Salamence. So two big dragon threats on his team. Now I think he overpredicts here, and he goes for Dragon Dance, because obviously he could very easily Draco Meteor or anything like that. But instead of overpredicting like last time, I kind of just wanted to slack off. If he went for Outrage, I didn't think it would kill me. So I could see what item he's holding, because I know he's not holding leftovers. And so here I'm just going to sacrifice Kadara on my Blastoise, just because this is the only two Pokemon on my team that he's seen in the battle yet, so I'm giving him as little information as possible about the type of sets I have on my Pokemon, while still figuring out a little bit about him. So seeing that he has Earthquake, you know he's going to have a Dragon move, and he has Dragon Dance. And so his filler could be anything from, Surf to Draco Meteor to anything like that, Fire move. And so I make a good roar, finally, third time's a charm, roar him out into Zebstrika. That's going to be very, very good, as he can't really do anything to me. If he had me first, he can me first the Earthquake, I guess. He could also overheat. Sometimes they run Hidden Power Grass, but they don't have the stopping power on Zebstrika. Zebstrika is a very good revenge killer, I find. And so he switches out, but knowing that he's going to switch means I'm just going to go for Roar again. And he gets roared back out into Zebstrika, so I get a little bit of payback for roaring him out into good things earlier on. Here he does go for Overheat, which is a very, very powerful attack. Zebstrika's special attack, though, is a little bit above average. I really should have slacked off there, but I thought he was going to switch again. I don't know why, just because, you should never keep the same attack strategy going too often. Mixing it up will help keep things on your side of the field a little bit easier. Of course, with Hydreigon in here, I don't want to leave in Hippowdon. I do want to keep Hippowdon alive if I can, because it checks things on his team really well. And in case he went for the Dark Pulse, I went into Terrakion with the specially defensive boost from the Sandstorm I knew I could take. anything barring a surf, and if he had surf, he would have used it earlier. So here I find out that he is scarfed, which I couldn't tell before because of I was always hitting in slower Pokemon on it, so I wasn't really sure. But I am able to rock polish, and I really like this Terrakion set. I've been using Double Dancing Terrakion since I caught Terrakion in the game, just with rock polish, swords dance, stone edge, and close combat. Then, depending on what I needed to do, I can use either one. So I rock polish right there just because I thought I could clean out a good few of his Pokemon. I am running Life Orb, so I think my life is going to be limited to 3 attacks, I believe. But I really did think combining that with the entry hazard damage, I could hopefully KO at least 2 or 3 of his Pokemon. So I take out Haxorus in one close combat, which was kind of surprising, but this is an adamant Terrakion. And Haxorus is relatively bulky, so maybe that was max damage. And I'm also able to take out Deoxys after all those Stealth Rock switch-ins. That was crucial to be able to take him out, so it was good that I was working him out earlier. And then seeing what I have on my team, he actually fodders his Zebstrika. So a little mini mid-game sweep there by Baron. The Terrakion is fantastic. I just took out half his team with one Pokemon. Now here, I was kind of expecting him to go out into Salamence, so I just went out into Hippowdon to kind of discourage him from trying to set up. If he wanted to go ahead and knock me out, that would be fine. But I just didn't want to give him a chance to set up, really. He goes for Dragon Claw. Unfortunately, that's not going to have quite the stopping power he needs it to have. Of course, if you're playing Black and White, you don't have access to the Outrage move tutor until Black and White 2, unless you have someone to trade it to. So that's always annoying. Here I was hoping he'd overpredict again, but I think he's finally just kind of sick of my Hippowdon at this point. And he just knocks me right on out. And so I'm able to go into my Shiny Manectric. Shoutouts to the Absol, one of my good friends and Twitter friends. He also has an account where he actually chronicled his entire Unova catching all the Pokemon. And so he traded me that Manectric that he was trading them together, I believe, in Diamond or Platinum. And so he traded me a Manectric. And so I love shiny Pokemon, so I definitely trained that up. But easy Volt Switch kill. There's nothing Salamence can do that will one-hit KO Genova, which if you guys have played Final Fantasy VII, I love the nickname Genova on Reuniclus because Reunion and Cells and Psychic Powers and Suggestion, I love it when nicknames come together like that. But anyways, that was a fun match. I believe that was, it may have been a 3-0 or 4-0 at the end. But I enjoyed that match, and I don't often use Sandstorm teams, so I thought it might be interesting to commentate a match with one. A few shoutouts here at the end of the round. If you all use Twitter, I would like to give a shout out to the Chaos Trade Shop. I actually got a few of the Dream World Pokemon I was looking for, including Shinx, who has the Guts ability. And I also got a Jolly Justified Lucario with Bullet Punch. Which of course is an egg move, and so since Lucario wasn't released at the time, that was a little bit more difficult to get a hold of. But anyways, if you guys are looking for another place to trade or get things from, you can use the Chaos Trade Shop, which is at Chaos Trade Shop on Twitter. Definitely go. There's a lot of Pokemon podcasts out there. I know you guys probably have listened to, for example, Spade did one. I think MBZ and maybe a few other people were doing them as well. I don't think Hayden did one. But anyways, though, I suggest checking out a new podcast called The Striaton Radio. Great Pokemon podcast, very, very lighthearted, and they do equal parts competitive, anime, and just general Pokemon fandom. And it's also a good way to keep updated on Pokemon news. So I just want to give a little shout out to them because I really enjoy their podcast, and they've given me shout outs in their podcast before, so why not shout them out on my channel? Anyways, though, I hope you all have enjoyed this battle today. Yay for Hippowdon Sandstorm goodness. And I will talk to you all later. Have a good week. Bye now.